Maya was born in a small village where life was never easy. Her family lived in a tiny mud house with a broken roof that leaked whenever it rained. Her father worked as a laborer in nearby fields, earning barely enough to buy food. Her mother stitched old clothes for neighbors to make a little extra money. They were poor, but they were honest people who believed in hard work. From a young age, Maya understood that if she wanted a better future, she would have to fight for it herself. Every morning, before sunrise, she helped her mother fetch water from the well and clean the house. Then she walked 5 kilometers to school with worn-out shoes and a bag full of old books that had been passed down by other children. Many students laughed at her clothes and poor appearance. Some even called her the village beggar. Their words hurt her deeply, but Maya never answered back. Instead, she quietly promised herself that one day she would prove them wrong. Maya loved studying more than anything else. She knew education was the only road that could take her out of poverty. At night, when electricity often failed, she studied under the dim light of an oil lamp. Sometimes there was no oil, so she sat outside under the moonlight and memorized her lessons. Her teachers noticed her determination. One of them, Mrs. Sarah, saw something special in Maya. She often stayed after class to help her with difficult subjects like mathematics and science. "You are smarter than you realize, Mrs. Sarah told her. Never let poverty define who you are." Those words became Maya's strength. Years passed, and Maya became the top student in her school. When the final board exams arrived, everyone expected the rich students from town to win the highest marks. But when the results were announced, Maya stood first in the entire district. The news spread quickly through the village. People who once ignored her now praised her. Her parents cried tears of joy. For the first time in years, hope entered their little home. Because of her excellent results, Maya earned a scholarship to a famous college in the city. It was a dream come true, but it also meant leaving her family behind. Her mother hugged her tightly and said, "Go, my daughter. Build the life we never had." City life was not easy. Maya felt lost among wealthy students who arrived in expensive cars and wore branded clothes. She still lived simply, sharing a small hostel room and eating cheap meals to save money. Some classmates looked down on her accent and humble background. But Maya had faced worse struggles before. She spent long hours in the library, attended every lecture, and worked part-time in a bookstore to cover her expenses. There were nights when exhaustion made her cry, but she never gave up. During her final year, the college announced a national competition for innovative business ideas. The winner would receive funding to start a company. Hundreds of students entered, many with powerful connections and expensive presentations. Maya entered with an idea inspired by her village, creating affordable solar lamps for poor families who lived without electricity. People doubted her. Some students laughed and said, "Who will listen to a poor village girl?" Maya ignored them and worked day and night. She built a prototype, researched costs, and practiced her presentation until she knew every word by heart. On the day of the competition, judges listened carefully as Maya spoke about children studying in darkness, mothers cooking by candlelight, and families spending money on oil they could barely afford. Then she showed how her solar lamps could change lives. The room fell silent. When the winners were announced, Maya's name came first. She could hardly believe it. Tears filled her eyes as the crowd applauded. The same students who once mocked her now stood to congratulate her. With the prize money, Maya launched her small company. At first, she sold only a few lamps. But her product was affordable, durable, and helpful. Soon orders came from many villages and towns. Within a few years, her company became one of the fastest-growing social businesses in the region. Maya did not forget where she came from. She returned to her village and built a new school with modern classrooms, free books, and scholarships for poor children. She repaired roads, helped families start small businesses, and provided electricity through solar systems. One day, Maya was invited as chief guest to her old school. As she stood on the stage, she looked at the same playground where children once laughed at her torn clothes. She smiled and said, "People may judge your clothes, your home, or your background. But never let them decide your future. Success belongs to those who work for it." The audience rose in applause. Maya's story became an inspiration across the country. She proved that luck may open some doors, but courage, hard work, and determination can build new ones. And the poor girl who once studied under moonlight became the light for thousands of others.